Hey guys, it's Tim and this is Wrestling Unlimited. Right off the bat, I want to say sorry about the quality of this live stream. My main camera just won't work. I know what's wrong with it, but it's one of those I gotta just let it fix itself kind of thing, I think is what it is. So basically, I can show you guys. Here's my main camera. This is the camera I normally use. Sony a6000. When we take the lens, if you see, it's not on. There's no battery in it. And it looks like it's on because the lens is out. But when we take the lens off, and if you see there, you might be able to see it, you might not. Let's turn it that way. The curtain is still closed. The curtain should only be closed when you hit the trigger. And it should snap closed and pop right back in. It should snap closed and open back up instantly, like right? Well, it's not popping back, so I think the spring may not be triggering properly. Now, this happened to me last week, and I just unplugged it from power, everything, let it sit overnight, and it started working again the next morning. So I don't know if I gotta let it sit again, if it could be that I accidentally left it on yesterday and never turned it off, and so it sat on, and then that messed it up. I don't know, but like I could see. Let's try this one more time. I'm going to hit it a couple times. I mean, I can't break it any more than it is. See if I can get it to engage properly. And you'll see what happens. I don't know if you'll be able to hear it. But if we hear you'll hear the mechanisms moving, but normally you hear them just go, but this one you hear, watch. See if the camera or the mic picks it up. But again, we'll grab our battery here. Plug it in with the dummy battery. Love these things because I don't have to keep. Where's it at? I don't even have it on the desk anymore. The regular battery charged. This plugs into the wall. Let's plug it in. And let's just see. We'll see if you guys can hear it on the mic or not. The sound it makes. Because I know what sound it makes when it's not going to start up properly. So it's off. Let's see. Oh, the mic didn't pick it up, but it did it so. So yeah. And I get a camera error, turn off, turn power off then on. And I do that. It's off already. It's off right now, but you still see the screen on, which is weird. Battery's in there though. Turn off and on. It's off, back on, does nothing. So what I did, and it fixed itself last time, was I powered it off, took the battery out, and whatever, overnight, and it fixed itself. So hopefully it fixes itself. Because I'm already going to spend a butt ton to upgrade the PC. Not looking to spend another $400 or $500 on a camera as well. How much? You can't buy a 6,000 anymore, but how much is an A6400? And I know there's probably better cameras out there now than that one. Damn, a 6400 still $1,000 at Best Buy? Holy shit. How much is a 6,000? You can't, I don't think you can buy them anymore new. See, Best Buy sells the Adorama's got them for $369. That's not bad. But I don't want to spend that. Let's see. You can go on my Amazon for how much? Let's just see. I know we're going off the rails here a little bit, but fuck you. From Sony, they're still selling this camera for $933. What? This is not a $900. When did this camera come out? Years ago. This camera came out in, 2014. That's what I thought. I was going to say 15, but God dang. They're still selling them on Amazon through Sony for $900. That's wild. when Anorama's got them. Now is this well-used condition for $369? And I did buy mine used, but like 4 or 5 years ago. Let's see, when did I buy this camera? I bought this camera it was right after COVID, 2021, 22, 23, 24, 25. So I've had it for 4 years. But with all of that, we've got Friday Night Smackdown to talk about that I thought was a pretty interesting show. Newsworthy show, I will say that for sure, because we've learned of an NXT call-up, a suspension. We're getting something big next week in the LA Knight Last Time Is Now match. And I want to say there was missing something. We'll figure it out when we go through the notes. I'm all kind of flustered still and not fully in the right headspace with this damn camera not wanting to work. But with that, I want to say thank you for joining me here. Twitch.tv/PWU Unlimited, YouTube.com/Pro Wrestling Unlimited, and podcast services all around the globe like Stitcher, Spotify, Google Pod, Apple Pod, Anchor, iHeartRadio, and so much more. Remember, if you're watching live on Twitch, you can help us out a couple of different ways. You can either help us out by hitting that donate button down below or by donating Twitch bits in the live chat. Also, remember, you can help us out by subscribing to the channel, one of 2 different ways. You can either subscribe with a tiered subscription or you can subscribe with Amazon Prime. Because remember, if you have Amazon Prime, then you have Prime Gaming. Prime Gaming gives you a lot of cool things like free games, free stuff for games, and you always get 1 free subscription to any Twitch channel you want to subscribe to throughout the month. And I greatly appreciate it if you did right here, Wrestling Unlimited. Also, remember, help us out over on YouTube with the subscribe button. That way you know when we post new videos, when we go live, and when we post to the community tab. Also, if you want to help us another way, you can hit the join button and become a channel member. As a channel member, you get a badge next to your name, emotes, and emojis, and access to our graphics packages. And finally, if you want to get your comment, question, or concern read live on the air, you can do so by donating a super chat in the live chat. One last thing, head over to the Epic Games Store. Head over to the Epic Games Store and buy something. Whether you're buying a new game, whether you're buying an old game, whether you're claiming a free game or getting bucks for Rocket League, Fortnite, or Fall Guys, use this code right here, PW Unlimited, at checkout, and you will be supporting us at no extra cost. Maybe you're getting into that new Fortnite Simpsons season, trying to unlock all that stuff. Well, if you're getting the Battle Pass, if you're getting the Krusty the Clown skin, Bart, Lisa, Mo, Scratchy from the store, you're going to need V-Bucks. And use our code PW Unlimited at checkout when purchasing those V-Bucks. Also, I was going to stream it last night, and then we started playing it as like a family downstairs. The new Disney stuff in Fortnite is actually really fun. It's basically you're set into a group of people. There's a bunch of mini games you got to play, and the top 3 get points and cookies and badges and stuff. And when you get these cookies, you get enough cookies, you can start unlocking cosmetics. So I've got like Stitch ears, a Goofy hat, I've got a Mickey Pumpkin head, and I'm still got more things to unlock. I had a blast with it last night. It's really, really fun. Eventually, once you go through and do 2 or 3 different games, like full games, because each game I think gives you 5 mini games to play, and there's maybe a total of like 6, 7, or 8. Once you do it twice, you've probably played all the mini games. But the fun thing about it, at least for me, is trying to best my best. So if I go into the Guardians of the Galaxy mini game and I get 400 points, but I don't win, I go, ooh, next time I get this one, I'm gonna win, and I'm gonna do it with more points, and so on and so forth. So that's really fun. That's really cool. I'm really having fun with that. I don't know how long it's gonna be around for, but it's like a custom island in collaboration with Disney itself. It's not like someone just made it and said, hey, here, this is cool. No, it's in collaboration from Epic with Disney. It's official to celebrate the and did we just go, what happened? Twitch looks like it just went down for us. Maybe not. No, I think we're good. But it's in collaboration with Disney for the 70th anniversary of Disneyland. Also, there's a cool thing. If you want to unlock and get more cookies to buy more cosmetics and unlock more things, you can do Disneyland trivia. There's about 10 questions. So once you get through the 10 questions, you're just going to repeat questions over and over. But it's like really fun stuff. I had a blast with it and would do it again. Would play more of this because I have more stuff that I want to unlock. And I haven't checked yet. Maybe one of you in the chat knows this. The cosmetics we're getting, the Goofy hat, the Mickey Pumpkin head, the Stitch ears, are those just locked to this island in this mode? Or can we use those outside of this and in regular BR and stuff like that? That would be really fun. But with all of that, we got Friday Night Smackdown to talk about as I scroll my notes here. Oh, this is going to be bad. Hold on. I'm going to have to, this is going to look weird for a second. I didn't realize that the camera that I'm using now is blocking the teleprompter, so I can't read the note. You know what? We're not going to use the prompter tonight. I'm just going to finagle this stuff over here. Finagle this over here. I'm not going to be looking directly into the camera, chat. I'm going to be looking down like this a little more. I'm going to put the notes right here. So we'll make it work. We'll do with what we got to do with. As far as the show does go, we kick it off with a recap of Saturday night's main event. Cody defeating Drew McIntyre to retain the title. And then we go into the open with Cody Rhodes kicking off the show. The champion arrives in his usual grandeur. He gets his big pyro and entrance. Whoa! And all of that. Rhodes enters the ring and asks the crowd, what do you want to talk about? He said that they could talk about what happened at Saturday night's main event and stated that he's here because he's still the champion. And Drew, well, he's putting Drew behind him. Rhodes responded that his reluctance is what helped him pull the trigger at Saturday night's main event. Something that McIntyre obviously has no issues with doing, pulling the trigger. That said, Rhodes called McIntyre the most self-sabotaging athlete this business has ever seen, which meant that the Scotsman was now fully well behind him. Rhodes says that now it's time to figure out who is next for him to challenge for the WWE Championship. He then proceeds to state that he's going to watch the show as a fan tonight. He's going to sit in the crowd with the fans and figure out who should be the next challenger. And right as he's getting out of the ring to do so, out comes Aleister Black and Zelina. Now, if you haven't figured it out by now, she's no longer Zelina Vega. She is just Zelina. Straight up just Zelina. So Black comes out and starts talking about how he wants to challenge Cody and this and that and da 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 da. Black talks about how he set Damian Priest on fire and all that kind of stuff. And he says he is going to seize the opportunity of getting the shot at the world title. Rhodes tried to step up to Black. Zelina slapped him right across the face. And this brought out general manager Nick Aldis, who says, hey, nah, we ain't doing this right now. But you two want to fight? Main event tonight, Cody, Aleister, you got it. So there we go. You know, I'm going to try something really fast. See if I can make this camera look just a smidgen better. It's a little too cool, a little too blue. Warm it up a little. No, it's making me too orange. Wait, let me do this. We're going to try something. We're going to try something in real time, chat. Then we're going to add a filter to it. I know what it needs. I know what it needs. We're going to add a filter. We're going to bring the saturation down a little. Oh, wrong way. It's a little better. Not a lot. It's a little better. Did you see before? After. I'm trying to get the skin tone. The skin tone's just not coming in right. I had it before, but we'll make it work. Again, like I said, my regular camera's not working right. It's not wanting to turn on because the shutter curtain's not wanting to go back. I hope I don't have to open this whole damn camera up. And yeah, I think it's just the as I said earlier, I'm not going to get all into it again. I think the spring that pops the curtain back is not springing back. Michael and Corey Graves teed up the rest of tonight's show as we saw Charlotte Flair and Alexa Bliss, as well as the new WWE Women's Champion Jade Cargill arrive at the arena. We then cut to U.S. Champion Ilya Dragunov making his entrance, but not before he was confronted once again by Tama Tonga of the MFTs. This then leads to Ilya Dragunov hosting yet another U.S. title open challenge. This leads to Tommaso Ciampa walking out. And he was mad that he was rejected last week and being called a jackass by the U.S. champ as well did not set well with him. He demanded that the bell rung and the match begin. Once Ciampa entered the ring, though, Dragunov said that he accepts the challenge, but not from Ciampa. from Johnny Gargano. And that was weird because Johnny didn't say a goddamn word. So he's like, no, Ciampa, I'm not facing you. I'll face Johnny. And I'm like, why is Dragunov running from Ciampa? Why is Dragunov, in theory, scared to face Ciampa? He wouldn't face him last week when that was perfectly fine. I understand last week because, god dang, what's his name? Nathan Frazier came out first. But this time, all of DIY came out, even Candice. No one other than Ciampa said a word, and then Dragunov's like, oh, I want Johnny. Like, what? Dumb. Dumb. The match kicks off. Ciampa provided a bit of distraction to Dragunov, which allowed Gargano to strike early. Gargano attempted a super kick, and Dragunov caught it and hit a couple German suplexes. After a commercial break, Dragunov blasted Gargano with an uppercut to the face, and Dragunov was throwing some punches in this match. Like he was connecting hard to Johnny. At one point, the challenger matched the effort with an uppercut of his own, but the Constantine special by Dragunov connected right on the button. Gargano was stunned in the corner. He was open for a big boot by Dragunov, followed by a diving knee for a near fall. Gargano then used the ropes to get himself back to his feet as he stopped Dragunov's dive from the top. Kicked him right in the gut. There was another kick by Gargano that was immediately followed up by a poison Rana. Gets the near fall for the challenger. One point, with Gargano dazed in the middle of the ring after Dragunov took a little advantage, mainly with the big-ass headbutt. Dragunov attempted an H-bomb, but was countered into a boot to the face. Gargano, however, couldn't escape Dragunov's standing Uranagi. There was another attempt at a Constantine special that was thwarted by Candice LeRae at ringside as the referee was distracted. This opened up Dragunov to hit a tornado DDT to the outside by Gargano, followed by a one final beat, but Dragunov somehow, the last second, did kick out. Gargano then tried to go for a dive from the apron, but was stopped with a kick from Dragunov. The champion then lifted him up from the middle rope with a superplex, hit the H-bomb, and pinned him to retain the title. So there we go. Dragunov once again retains the United States Championship. I thought it was a really fun match. I thought these two worked great together. I would love to see this match again in the future. We don't need it like imminently or anything. I just want to know what the crap they're doing with Ciampa and Dragunov, where Dragunov keeps evading. Now it's 2 weeks in a row, evading the opportunity to fight Ciampa. But there we go. That's a little better. That's a little better. So Nick Aldis was in his office talking to a referee when Sami Zayn comes in. And basically he's just talking about how, he's tired of the MFTs. He has to have Rey Fenix's back tonight. And basically Nick Aldis is like, Sami, you're not cleared. I'm not even allowed to let you go down to the ring. You're so not cleared. And Sami was pretty dejected by all of this. Once Zayn left, R-Truth appeared and asked Aldis if he could be in the tournament for John Cena's final opponent. In words of Truth, he said he was putting, quote, his balls in Aldis' hand. His words, not mine. After that, SmackDown General Manager Nick Aldis told Truth that he's already in the tournament. And Truth said that he didn't want his balls in Aldis' hands anyways. So we know one of the 16 men are R-Truth. We know of 8. We know of 8. We'll talk about those 8 later. 8 counting Truth, but we don't know Truth's match yet. Whole thing. We'll talk about that in a little bit. We then got a recap of Jade winning the title from Tiffany Stratton at Saturday Night's main event. Backstage, it defeated Johnny Gargano. Talked about his loss to Ciampa. The Fraxium duo then showed up to rub a little salt in the wounds, particularly towards Ciampa for being rejected 2 weeks in a row. Then we get Jade in a weird segment that basically is teasing her and Charlotte. Jade comes down to the ring and says, at Saturday Night's main event, I defeated Tiffany Stratton to become the champion. And what I did to Tiffany, I'm going to do to all them women in the back if they come to me. Because I'm that bitch. She drops the mic and leaves. That was fucking it. She was in the ring. It took her longer to walk out to the ring and do her entrance than this promo. Took her about a minute and a half to walk out to the ring and do the entrance. Took her about 45 seconds to cut this promo. So she's leaving, walks up the ramp, And all of a sudden, Charlotte Flair's music hits. Bum, bum, ba-da, bum, 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 bum. And so they have a little brief moment. Not the first time we've seen this year. They have a little brief moment. Alexa's music hits. And so Charlotte kind of looks back at Jade. Jade's still kind of standing in the entrance. Alexa comes out. She grabs Charlotte and they start to walk. And then this was awkward because Charlotte did not play this off well. But think about halfway down the ramp, and then Charlotte gets this huge grin on her face, like she can't hold this in or whatever. And she turns around like she wants to run back at Jade, but she kind of doesn't really do it, but she kind of does do it. And then Alexa grabs her, goes, "No, come back. You gotta fight Nia." Weird. Very awkward, but they did tease something with Charlotte and Jade. So they're teasing something with Charlotte and Jade, but they did it in the most awkward of ways. Like, again, Charlotte and Alexa are walking down the ramp, and Charlotte just goes, and she like turns around, goes to run off, and Alexa grabs her and pulls her back. She's like, no, you gotta fight Nia. But yeah, very weird and awkward. Jade didn't do much, didn't say much. The follow up to her winning her first world title in WWE is just, I beat Tiffany's ass. I'm going to beat all them women's asses because I'm that bitch. That's it. That was it. As far as this match does go, though, it was Nia Jax versus Charlotte Flair. But before that, Chelsea Green was getting herself hyped up for her women's U.S. title match against Julia. That's when Michin and B-Fab would show up. Green was about to boast about being the greatest women's champion on SmackDown when Jade would appear. Green then backed off and was like, I gotta go. B-Fab, then some reason or other, I don't know why, confronted Jade, which is now leading to a non-title match next week, Jade and B-Fab. So as far as Nia and Charlotte just go, the match got underway pretty quickly. Flair and Jax locked up right in the middle of the ring. And these two usually work well together. And I think it's because they're such good friends that, as they say in wrestling, you hit your real friends harder. You lay it in. And these two sometimes just go for it. So at one point, there was a shoulder tackle. Jax used her strength to knock Charlotte down. Jackson face-washed Flair with her hand, but got taken down with a Luthez press. Jax shrugged that off and pushed Flair into the corner. Flair answered with a drop kick, followed by a head scissors takedown as she played to the crowd afterwards. Back in the corner, Flair chopped at Jax, but got thrown into the corner herself, which led to her getting crushed as we go to a break. When we return from the commercial, Flair attempted to fight back with a big boot, and on the apron, she then went for a diving crossbody that landed on Jax. Flair then fired away some chops to the chest of Jax, then a running clothesline to the ground that got her a little bit of an advantage. Flair then headed to the top rope and connected with a moonsault, got her back after getting Nia back into the ring, but she only gets a 2 off of it. Flair attempted to lock in the figure 8, but Jax responded with a sit-down powerbomb. It was only enough to keep Charlotte down for a 1. Jax then dragged Flair near the corner, and as she looked to go for the annihilate her, Flair escaped, but found herself on Jax's shoulders for a move of some kind of weird. And so this is all going on, right? And Jax attempts a Samoan drop, was countered to tornado DDT. Then all of a sudden outside the ring, we see somebody jump the timekeeper's area, and it's freaking Lash Legend, who then grabs Alexa Bliss and puts her in a choke and just ragdolls the shit out of her. This causes Charlotte to get distracted. Nia then takes down Charlotte, hits her with an annihilator, and pins her 1, 2, 3. So there we go. Nia Jax has just pinned one half of the women's tag team champions. She's now got herself a new partner in Lash Legend. And we hear more from them a little bit later, but Lash Legend is officially now been called up to SmackDown. She is no longer part of the NXT roster. WWE has made that change on their website to reflect that. So, yeah. Lash Legend and Nia Jax are now a tag team on SmackDown, and Lash Legend is officially done with NXT. For the time being. They send main roster talent down there to do things all the time, so it wouldn't be out of the realm to see her go do a thing or two down there, maybe even her and Nia together. But as of now, Lash Legend is officially main roster, which should mean, in theory, new contract, more money. Main roster, you're making $250, $350 a year. NXT, you're making what? Not even $100,000 a year. Then I got a video package. Same one we've seen the last couple of shows, hyping up John Cena's Last Time Is Now tour. And then we cut to a very overly produced and highly produced video of Nick Aldis grabbing balls. So Nick Aldis spins the thing, pulls out a ball, pulls out another ball, and he says, the first match that I am drawing for in the John Cena Last Time Is Now tournament sees two highly decorated WWE superstars. The first, a man that knows John Cena very well, is The Miz. The other is, well, main event, Jey Uso. We have one more match, and he spins the tumbler, and he pulls out a name, and he said, in this name, he is a megastar. He is the LA Knight. He goes and grabs another name, and his opponent will be, and he, grabs the thing, and he unfolds it and looks at it and goes, oh, well, I'm going to keep this one a secret. We'll see who it is next week. And he doesn't tell us who the opponent is for GD LA Knight. So it's got to be one of those surprises that John Cena's been teasing. One of those don't work here, not signed to WWE. And I'm not saying this with any kind of knowledge. I'm not saying this with any kind of it's been reported or I've heard these names official. But I think if there's going to be any not signed to WWE names, probably the most, how would I say it? One that would make the most sense would be Joe Hendry, because he's basically an NXT wrestler anyways. Like, yeah, he's still signed to TNA till the end of the year, but this fool is on like all the coconut loops in Florida with NXT on the house shows. He's on NXT every week, so he's basically a WWE superstar. But they can say, oh my God, this guy's not signed to the company. So I think Joe Hendry's one that it could be. I also think it could possibly be Matt Cardona. And then not super curveball out of left field, but another name that maybe, especially since he's kind of got history with Cena from back in the day and all these damn years, maybe Nemeth, Nick Nemeth. If we're going to get anybody that's not signed to the company, I think those three names would make the most sense, especially since, Joe Hendry's already working TNA everywhere, NXT every week, and he's with TNA. The Cardona not signed to TNA, but associated with TNA, and then Nemeth signed to TNA. So I think all of that, it all just makes sense and works out and plays well. So those are three names. And I don't know how many we get. Maybe we get one of these surprises. Maybe we get 2, 3, 4 of these surprises. We don't know. But what we do know are 8 names so far. So far, who we know in this tournament: Rusev, Sheamus, Damian Priest, Shinsuke Nakamura, Miz, Jey Uso, LA Knight, and R-Truth. Because again, as Nick Aldis told Truth earlier, we don't know your match yet, but you are in the tournament. So we know half of the names. We know half of the names for this tournament so far. I assume we get 4 more names on Monday and then 4 more names next week on SmackDown. So backstage, Nia Jax and Lash Legend were interviewed about their new partnership. Jax called Lash Legend a friend, something that, Alexa Bliss and Charlotte Flair are not. Something that she knew from their encounters in NXT, that she can, trust her and want to work with her. And then Lash said, this is only the beginning for me here on SmackDown. We'll see where it leads to. I don't see them winning the tag titles. Honestly, if WWE is not stupid, they would put the tag titles on the Kabuki Warriors. That's where they need to go. They need to put these damn titles on Kairi and Asuka, because they're the best, especially Asuka. She's fucking the best. But then, with the Women's United States Championship on the line, if Julia can get past today, she's the longest reigning Women's United States Champion. If not, Chelsea gets title back, first ever 2-time Women's United States Champion. So Chelsea Green comes out with her AAA Mixed Tag Team Championship, and then we see her AAA Mixed Tag Team Championship partner, Ethan Page, sitting front row. He's here to hype her up, I guess you would say, along with Alba Fire, of course. The Green started off with a hard slap to Julia's face. She got a headbutt for her troubles, though, followed by a vertical suplex. Julia then caught Green with a knee to the face. That wasn't enough to get the victory. Green then got beeled and thrown into the corner by Julia as she found herself trapped across the ropes and a knee to the face. Kiana James then tried to get involved with a slap to the face that stunned Green, which got her a super kick from Alba Fire. In the midst of all of this, just out of nowhere, Chelsea Green rolls up Julia, feet up high on the middle rope. Ref doesn't see it. 1, 2, 3. Ring the bell. Ding, ding, ding. And new Women's United States, or should I say, no Women's United States Champion, Chelsea Green. Because that Mark fucking Nash still fucking whining, crying, blowing a load. Anyways, Chelsea Green, new champion. She goes and celebrates with Ethan Page in the crowd. He throws her up on his shoulder, Miss Elizabeth Macho style. And the mixed tag team champions now show that they are both double champions. Chelsea is one half of the mixed tag team champions and the new Women's United States champion, as Ethan Page is one half of the mixed tag team champions and the current NXT North American champion. So, hey, give me more of these fools on SmackDown, on the main roster, because I think, in all honesty, Chelsea Green and Ethan Page are the best pairing right now, not just in WWE. They're my favorite pairing in all of wrestling. I think these two are fucking phenomenal together. Like, Chelsea Green is the female Ethan Page, as Ethan Page is the male Chelsea Green. They're both freaking great wrestlers that can make almost just about, if not any opponent, look good. I mean, look at what god dang Ethan did with El Hijo de Dr. Wagner Jr. That match was probably the best match at Halloween Havoc because of Ethan Page. Which, are we gonna say it now? Are we gonna predict Ethan Page a triple champion? I don't really need him to have that many belts at once, but he's gonna challenge El Hijo de Dr. Wagner Jr. for the I don't know what title it is. God damn it. Chat, let me know. What title is El Hijo de Dr. Wagner Jr. have? Light heavy, I think maybe. Light heavyweight, lightweight. One of them belts. It's just not the mega champion because that's old Dom Dom. But yeah, this was just I don't know why they booked it like this, but I wouldn't call it a squash, but I would call it a one-sided victory. It was all a Chelsea Green match with Julia getting about 3 little things of offense. Not that great. Latin American. Thank you, Sin Saturday. Latin American. I knew it started with an L and it was more than one word. That's why I said light heavyweight. Thank you. Fonzie's got it in the chat too. Thank you, Fonzie. So the MTs are in the back and they're kind of unhappy because other people have things that should belong to them, basically. Solo saying that our family's the best family. Tala Tonga's going to go prove it by crushing Phoenix tonight. Charlotte Flair and Alexa Bliss are then in the trainer's room. Alexa's being checked on and whatnot. Charlotte goes to give her a bag of ice when all of a sudden the doctor comes up and goes, yeah, and it's Asuka. And then she goes, yeah, spits the mist in their face. And then Kyrie's there also wearing a doctor get up. And then they're like, yeah, and they run off. What the shit? What the shit? So, this then leads to Talatonga versus Rey Fenix. I thought it was just there. It wasn't really much of anything special, if I'm going to be completely honest. Before the match starts, Motor City Machine Guns and Nakamura would run down to try and dispose of the MFTs, but are not really all too successful, I guess you would say. Once the match does officially finally start, Phoenix hit a feint kick between the ropes as he went for Talatonga's legs, which kind of did work for a moment, but not long. Talatonga fought back, throwing Phoenix down with a standing flapjack. With Phoenix on the apron, Talatonga kicked him down, which then sent Phoenix crashing to the apron. Outside the ring, Talatonga threw Phoenix into the barricade as we go to a commercial break. When we come back from the break, Phoenix attempted a springboard that was met pretty easily by Tala Tonga, just pushing him aside. Phoenix attempted a sunset flip. It was also stopped by Tala Tonga, who nailed his foe with a huge uppercut. Commentary talked about how, he's relatively young in the business, Tala Tonga, but has had some great success in Japan, winning multiple titles. And it's weird because with some guys, they'll say the words New Japan. But for some reason, with Tala Tonga, they would just say in Japan. But they never said in New Japan. So I don't know if there's something where they're not allowed to say it anymore. Can't say New Japan. I don't know. But it'll be interesting to see if they mention Japan more for these guys and say New Japan or not. Because like with Tala Tonga, they've said, or Tama Tonga, they've said New Japan. With AJ Styles, they've said New Japan. With Nakamura, they've said New Japan. But then sometimes they just say Japan. So I don't know. Very interesting. Phoenix did recover on the apron and avoided a big boot. He then hit a goodbye amigo kick that stunned Tala Tonga. He then hit a crossbody off the top rope for a near fall. Phoenix blasted Tala with a super kick to the knee. He tried to go for a dive, but Tala Tonga caught him and chokeslammed him pretty hard, I do might say, to pick up the victory. Like, this was a up, boom, kind of stiff chokeslam. After the match, Solo Sikoa tried to get Tala Tonga to chokeslam Phoenix again, but Sami Zayn would run down with a chair, and Sikoa and Tala backed off. So Sami does eventually come out, but not till the match is over, and doesn't really do anything physical, which does lead me to think the Sami Zayn storyline may be because of a real injury. We don't know, and no one's reported that, but it's possible. Very possible. Three things. I can't speak right now. 3 things. Matches, I should say, have been announced for next week's SmackDown, as we've already talked about. Jade Cargill versus BFAB in a non-title match. And the last time is now tournament, Miz versus Jey Uso, and LA Knight versus we don't know. Big old question mark. Who, as the New Day would say. Again, I think it's one of 3 men, and I could be wrong. Joe Hendry, Matt Cardona. I don't know why I said it like that. Matt Cardona, or maybe just throwing a curveball. Nick Nemeth, old Dolph Ziggler. But this then leads to a Miz interview backstage where he talks about his match upcoming with Jey Uso in the tournament, as well as what he did to Carmelo Hayes last week. In Miz's eyes, it was a reminder of what he's capable of, showing everybody what he can do, and not to overlook him. He said that he made Hayes relevant, and that once he beats Jey Uso next week, he will move on to the next round to eventually become John Cena's last opponent. He will end John Cena's career. Now, technically, if you want to say it like that, anybody who's facing John Cena in this tournament is ending John Cena's career. No matter if it's Miz saying it or not. Win or lose, you're ending John Cena's career because you're John's last opponent. Which, speaking of last opponents, you still need to freaking hear who goddamn... Oh. Oof. Sucked in some air that went down the wrong pipe. That was weird. I find out who goddamn Tanahashi's last opponent's going to be. Geto went up to him and was like, got an opponent yet? He's like, not yet. He goes, I'll find you one. And then they do this press conference to announce a couple matches for the Tokyo Dome. And Tanahashi goes, I don't got an opponent yet. Please just stick around and we'll let you know when we get it all set. Which leads to me, I think, now Fightful had a report yesterday, I think it was, stating that they could announce it within the week, like the next week. I think that could be, maybe, I don't know, I'm just spitballing, but they're still negotiating for somebody. Maybe that somebody is Shinsuke Nakamura. Maybe they're in talks with WWE to get Shinsuke Nakamura as the final opponent for Hiroshi Tanahashi. Now, if it's not Nakamura, I don't know who else it could be. Because like Nakamura did the whole thing where he says, my final opponent is going to come full circle in my career. Well, him and Nakamura basically started together. And unless it's going to be like Geto, Geto's just going to say, I'm your final opponent. That's who I've booked. What? And then Okada's the only other one that makes sense, because that's got to be. You would think that, like, and I'm not the biggest New Japan lore history guy, but I've been following it enough for the past decade-ish, off and on, to know that what? Nakamura's greatest foe is Okada? Like, when you say Austin had Rock, Angle had Brock, and Ric Flair had Steamboat. Like, when you say, who do certain guys just have their best matches with? It's Tanahashi and Okada. Like, there's the thing of, you work the best with every time, no matter what. Your greatest opponent, your best matches are with. Like I said, Rock and Austin, whenever they had matches, Thing's a legend. Kurt Angle's best opponent, his best matches were probably with Brock Lesnar. Best series of, like, best, just every time they had a match, it was a great match. So, like Ric Flair, he'll always say it. My best opponent was Steamboat, was Ricky. Like, who could you say Undertaker's best opponent is? Shawn? But then you have to also say, does that mean Shawn or Taker is Shawn's best opponent? Because that's the whole thing. It's like, Rock was Austin's best opponent, but Austin's best matches also, like, Rock's best matches were with Austin, and Austin's best matches were with Rock. Not like, Shawn Michaels' best matches were with Bret Hart, but Bret's best matches were actually with somebody, you know what I mean? I don't know, but we'll see. He says it's coming full circle, so we'll see what that all means. We'll see what full circle means. But as we go full circle on this show, it was a full circle moment because Cody Rhodes opened the show, and Cody Rhodes closed the show with the main event against Aleister Black. So the two sized one another up, started chain wrestling. Now, here's the thing, and it didn't happen tonight. I don't know if it's gonna, happen in the future or here shortly. In AEW, when the fans started turning on Cody, it was right after Black came in and had those series of matches with Cody, where eventually the fans were just like, yeah, I'm over the Cody thing. As they started booing him and all that. So, and didn't, like, Cody have that match with Black where he left his boots in the ring or something? I don't fully remember. He did that promo crying and then left the boots in the ring or something. I don't remember. But anyways, no, it wasn't a match, but it was, he left the boots and this, and then Black, like, attacked him with the Black Mass or something. I vaguely remember. It was one of them, all those Daily's Place COVID style shows run together. Anyways. So neither really get the upper hand, but shortly thereafter, Rhodes lifted Black up for a standing suplex. He attempted his signature drop down uppercut, which is really Dustin's signature drop down uppercut. And Black caught him with an armbar. We go to a break after Cody tried to go for a disaster kick. Rhodes then avoided a kick from Black and attempted to roll up, but didn't really get much of it. Black responded with a boot to the face and another quick cover. Black attempted a back suplex at one point, and Cody countered that. He answered with a Cody cutter for a near fall. As Black got himself up, Rhodes tried to go for a Dusty style strike, but was met with a knee and a jackknife suplex from his foe. Black then went for the Black Mass, but tried for the I wrote this. Hold on. Black went for the Black Mass, tried for the Crossroads. I wrote that weird. The attempt was reversed as the two traded kicks that took each other out, and both were down. Just as Black and Rhodes were slowly starting to recover and kind of get back up, Drew McIntyre would barge down to the ring out of the crowd and just boom, Claymore straight to the ref. Odd, but okay. Claymore to the ref. This then led to a big ass brawl where Black and McIntyre are double teaming Cody. Damian Priest then comes down to even out the odds. Everyone just starts fighting. I think Priest even throws around Zelina at one point. And McIntyre's fighting. And all of a sudden you hear, I'm tired of this. It's done. Enough. Stop. And it's Nick Aldis. He's like, Drew, I've warned you. Drew, you can't listen. So effective immediately, Drew, you're suspended indefinitely. And Drew McIntyre barges up the ramp We get the thing on the bottom of the screen. Executive producers is Paul Levesque and Lee Fitting. McIntyre's yelling in Aldis's face and basically says, quote, your back is against the wall. Oh, no, my back was against the wall. Also, at one point in the ring, after he claymored the ref, basically Drew told the ref, you're either with Cody or you're against him. Basically saying it's either you pick Cody or you pick me to the referee. So, yeah, Drew McIntyre has now been suspended in storyline. Don't know how long this is going to last. Don't know what this is going to lead to. But we'll see as we creep closer and closer to Survivor Series in just a couple of weeks. With that, guys, that is everything that took place tonight on Smackdown. Let's go over here and, check the polls. I didn't do a Twitch poll, but it's fine. As far as the Threads poll does go. If we can get this to load. Anthony, we literally talked about that 3 times on this show. You can rewind and go back. I gave 3 names that I think could be LA Knight's mystery opponent. And if you're asking who I think Cena's final opponent's going to be, like who wins the tournament, Gunther. I didn't say that tonight, but Gunther. 64% on Threads liked the show. 21% thought it was just all right, and 14% liked it. As far as the X poll does go. Come on. It wants to load. 58% liked the show. 29% thought it was just all right. And 11% didn't like it. Looking over at the community poll. I need to watch that still. Braun Strowman, everything on the menu. What are we at? Episode 3 or 4? I don't even know. I haven't watched it yet. I started up episode 1 and then just didn't get into it because other things got my attention with like family stuff and whatnot. I'd go downstairs and whole thing. And I don't know why the community tab doesn't want to load. So while that loads, go check the live poll. 84% liked the show. 10% thought it was just all right. And 6% didn't like it. And looking at the community poll, if it ever does want to load. Let's check it on the phone. For some reason, it's not loading on the computer. Let's check it here. Boom. Boom. Community poll. 80% liked the show. 11% thought it was just all right. And 9% didn't like it. What the shit? That's not what I wanted to go to. It wasn't even trying to go to the right page. That's why it wouldn't load. But with all of that, guys, I want to say thank you for joining me here. Twitch.tv/PW Unlimited, YouTube.com/Pro Wrestling Unlimited, and podcast services all around the globe like Stitcher, Spotify, Google Pod, Apple Pod, Anchor, iHeartRadio, and so much more. With that, I'm going to go load up some Netflix and watch Guillermo del Toro's Frankenstein with Oscar Isaac. Heard great things about it, so I can't wait to watch it. I'll let you guys know on X what I thought about it once I finish it up. So with that, guys, have a great rest of your night. Have a great weekend.